Yeah, so the purpose of this meeting really it's basically consultation, right? So I prefer the consultative approach really where I'm gonna just like ask you a bunch of questions. I already kind of know what you're looking for since we spoke already. But
Mhm.
yeah, I just want to ask you like as much as possible so that we can really kind of like narrow down what it is you're looking for and why. Because you know you're not a realtor, right? So you don't want to like spend all your time kind of looking for that. So
Exactly.
yeah, so you're you know you're shopping around for realtors and looking to kind of offload that. So that's kind of the purpose of this meeting.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so basically what we're gonna go over is we're gonna just kind of go through a questionnaire. I'm gonna ask you some questions and really kind of narrow down exactly what you and Deanna are looking for. Then I know
Okay.
since it's your first home purchase, we're gonna go through like the buyer roadmap, and I'm gonna explain to you what the whole journey looks like, basically, so that you're not kind of like a deer in headlights when you're actually like when it's time to
Yeah, that's
start.
perfect.
Yeah.
And that I think is something Deanna would be it would be great. So save
Yeah.
that for the end. And if we
Okay.
can she'll be here in maybe like 10 minutes.
Okay, yeah, perfect. And then
Yeah.
at the end, I'm also gonna email you guys some documents. If we were meeting in person, I would have given you the folder, but I'll email you the documents, and it's gonna just you can look over as well, like what we're gonna go through,
Okay.
so that you guys have that handy. And then
Sure.
I'll just go over like the market environment and what's really going on, because I know there's like a bunch of news headlines and all that stuff.
Okay,
And
appreciate it.
yeah, and then we'll
No,
go
you
yeah, and
came
then
prepared.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah. And then
Yeah.
we'll open up Matrix, which is our kind of like realtor access of the MLS system, and we'll set up your search. I started it already with what you've
Okay.
told me, but I
Yeah.
think we just need to narrow down locations and yeah, and then we'll be able to see what's available, and then we can set you up on alerts so that you can start to kind of see what's out there and
Right on. Yeah, that sounds
yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
Mm.
So I'll give you a quick introduction about myself and my team. I don't know what Rob has told you, but so yeah, I've been a realtor for 3 years, and before that I was an assistant for 7 years. So I've been in the industry for about 10 years.
Okay.
And Redline Real Estate, we're a team of about 85 agents. And it's there's a lot of seasoned agents on there, so it's really great. We have access to like their wealth of knowledge, and we're just kind of all over the city, always up to date with training and things like that. So you would be in good hands with me being part of that team. So yeah, that's it. I'm not gonna bore you with any more personal stuff, but so now
No worries.
that's all you need to
Don't
know,
don't
basically.
stress. Yeah, yeah, it's all good.
Yeah,
I,
and so go ahead.
no, nothing.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about you and Deanna. So you're living in Victoria Park in a condo. Oh, here she is.
Yeah, there she is. She's
Hi.
just in traffic.
Oh yeah.
Hello.
Hi, Deanna.
Hello. I'm so sorry. I mean, I'm stuck in the traffic, but
I
I'll be
know
home
it's
in a
bad
moment.
today. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really bad. I don't know if it is the rain or
Yeah, I know.
yeah,
Yeah, I was stuck in traffic this morning. I was like, oh my gosh.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
so we are looking for like again, something quite similar to that home I sent you the
yeah.
specs on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so something, we're looking for double garage. We're looking for something not excessively old. I would love to be within that 10-year time
Yeah.
frame, and then we would have some of the warranty on the appliances and stuff like that, which I think would be a huge asset. Um, I think we're looking for maybe around 2,000 square feet. We probably don't want to go too much bigger than that. We're looking
Okay.
maybe 3 bedroom, 3 bathroom. Um, I think air conditioning is a necessity, but whether we get that at the time of purchase or we put that in after the fact, it's a minor detail.
Okay.
Mm, I think we much prefer the detached home style as opposed to like a condo or, we're certainly not interested in an apartment. I think something where we
Yeah.
can walk out the front door, put our feet on the grass, something with like a small yard. It doesn't have to be like a jaw-dropping thing.
Okay.
And then I think the main interests are in the interior of the home. Like There are some things on the wish list that I do have that I think are probably a bit on the rare side.
The
But
pizza oven.
while we're starting on this journey together, we may as well just be like transparent with that.
Yeah, yeah.
So like I
Yeah.
was telling to you, I think the kitchen and like having a gourmet kitchen and like a luxury upscale master bedroom
Okay.
and a bathroom would be great. We saw like in that house it had a steam shower, which would be like that would be an ideal thing. Some of the homes we've looked at have had things like steam rooms inside of them,
Yeah.
which again, I think that can be a bit of a liability probably in some ways, but that's something that we would make a tremendous amount of use on. So that would be a huge asset. In the kitchen, I think maybe it sounds a little bit ridiculous if I say it out loud, but a pizza oven would really be awesome.
Yeah. I've never seen that, so it might be an add-on you have to do later
Yeah,
on.
yeah, okay. Fair. Or just
Yeah.
get something outside, like a
Yeah.
cheap little, yeah. So,
Yeah.
mm, what else can I say? Yeah,
What
so I
about
think
the
yeah.
basement? Are you open? Do you want to finish basement or are you
Yes,
open?
ideally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And we want
Ideally,
it to be more of like a turnkey. I don't think we're really
okay.
so interested. Like, of course, if there's some renovations to the basement or something like that that are a component of the perfect house because the location is right and the price is right and all that, then that's
Okay.
one thing. But
Okay.
I think we'd probably prefer to do less renovations than, any renovation. So kind of like
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But
Okay.
like like what we have talked is also like I don't know if it is possible to see like new things, like something that hasn't been completed yet, so that we
Yeah.
can have a chance to update whatever we
Yeah.
want, or if we want to put something new that we can do it before they finish the house.
Yeah. Yeah, I was telling Jesse sometimes those do come up, and because you guys are dealing with a longer possession, there might be an opportunity to get into something that's being built right now, where you have the ability to possibly select some finishings. It's yeah, like I do see those from time to time. We'll have to keep an eye on it because we're month of May right now, and
Yeah.
yeah, like now would be the time where that would be a possibility.
Oh, that's
Um,
great.
what I can also do is they're not always listed. So what I can do is I can call around some agents that I know that work with builders to see what they have off market. Um, because yeah, they don't always list them. They don't like listing them too early because they don't want the listing to kind of grow stale because most people don't like buying pre-sales as we call it. But that's something I can do is just get on the phone with some agents and see if they have anything coming up that's maybe not listed, and we can kind of like get you guys in and kind of see if there's something
Yeah,
there.
Yeah, that'd be
kind
perfect.
of
Yeah. Yeah.
to check it.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So as far as locations, we're gonna narrow that down. Like I said, Jesse, I'm gonna pull up the matrix system, and we're gonna just go through the map and kind of see. I know you wanted like the outskirts of inner city, kind of was what we're
Yeah.
saying. You don't want to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Okay.
right. I've lived it. Yeah. So we can go
Okay.
over that at that point. That's
Okay.
fine. I have a pretty good understanding. Um, and I think yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
excellent.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna go through Deanna. What I was telling Jesse is I know it's like your first time purchase, so I'm just gonna kind of show you the home buyer roadmap and what that looks like step by step, so that when you guys are ready to act, you know what to expect. So and I'm just gonna share my screen here. Okay. Okay, so you can see my screen. Okay, can you see this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so yeah, this is what we call the home buyer roadmap. Can you see my cursor? Are you able to?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now you're here, you're meeting with a real estate professional. So this is kind of like where we just narrow down what you're looking for. You have your consultation, you kind of just get to know what it is you're getting yourselves into and what's going on with the market, which we'll talk about later. And then just so you know, buyer's advantage. So you don't pay any fees whatsoever. So the seller pays for all the realtors fees involved. So you basically get kind of free representation is basically how it goes. So you're not responsible for any fees whatsoever. Um, and then ideally, the next step would be to get a mortgage pre-approval. Jesse, I think you said you didn't quite get there yet, or
We're not there yet, and
okay.
my understanding is that once we get that pre-approval, it's only good for 3 months.
Yeah.
So I think it's just like we're still on the outside looking in as far as the timeline
Yeah.
for that November possession.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, you could wait on getting the official one, but yeah, you can also kind of. Have you been in the talks yet with your?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Okay.
we've discussed it a lot or with one another. As far as the financial component, we're looking at a down payment of 300,000,
Okay.
give or take.
Okay.
And we are looking at probably like a total purchase price around like the ceiling, I would say, is 850.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. And then, so then you eventually start to search for homes. So this is basically what we're going to do today is we're going to set up your alert so that you can just kind of start to see what's out there virtually. You could start viewing homes in person now if you want,
Yeah.
understanding that you're not going to buy anything right now because you're, looking at December possession. So we can always once in a while just go see homes so that you can see them in person because it's very different photos versus
Yeah.
in person. So
Totally. And we've
yeah,
already started that process. We've looked at some houses, open houses, appointment-based showings, probably
yeah,
since, I don't know, what would you say, Deanna, like a year already into
okay,
that?
Yeah,
okay,
I think yeah, like we've been seeing a lot.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay, perfect, yeah, awesome, perfect. And then yeah, your advanced search, that's what we're gonna cover today. You're gonna really see like the back end and all the filters we're gonna set up to really put specific filters on your search so that you get listings sent to you. And then, yeah, we're gonna just start attending home showings. And the way this works, the home showings is basically like what I call it. It's like a process of elimination, right? So start to view homes, and I want you to be completely honest when we're viewing homes, and you give me like whatever feedback you want, and I won't get offended. It's not my house, so I'd rather you
No,
be
no.
honest. Really tell me what you think about the house, so that we're getting really clear on what you like and don't like. So it's very much not like here's three homes I'm going to show you pick one type things. It's like it's a process, right? So it's shopping around. So there's going to be an opportunity for you to view homes before getting really clear on what you want. And then when you do get clear on what you want, that's when we present the offer. And I will email you just a copy of what an offer looks like so that you can just get familiar with it so that when it's time to make one, you're not like feeling like it's the first time you ever saw this document. So basically, if you like the house, then we present an offer to the sellers. And then myself, I will negotiate on your behalf to try and get you the best deal possible on whatever terms work best for you. And then once the contract is accepted, then we will be under contract here. So this is what we call the condition period. So there's three things that are going to happen here. So this is where you have to provide the initial deposit. So in your price range, what you're looking at is about a $15,000 deposit. It depends what gets negotiated. So sometimes the seller asks for a bigger deposit. Sometimes they're okay with 15,000. But where this deposit goes is that it gets held by the listing brokerage. So it gets held during the condition period. It's made out to the listing brokerage, and it's due usually within 2 business days of the offer being finalized. And it does count toward the down payment of your house. And then if for whatever reason during the condition period something comes up with your financing condition or the property inspection, and you decide not to proceed with that house, you do get your deposit back. But then if you waive your conditions. So if you say, yeah, my financing's approved, I'm okay with the property inspection, and we send the official notice of waiver to the sellers, and then you default to close, then you don't get that deposit back. But that's very rare. So it's, but just some things that you know.
Yeah, it
Sorry?
makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. So, and then, yeah, the condition period. So typically there's two conditions. So it's your financing. Oh, we lost Deanna.
Uh-oh. Maybe she's here.
Oh, she's there?
Huh. Well, maybe
Oh,
downstairs.
okay. She's getting in the
Yes,
way.
I'm here.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just coming up. That's why
Okay.
Okay,
that's why you
perfect.
love me, but I'm just coming up. 1 second.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, so we have the financing condition, and even if you do have a mortgage pre-approval, we still put the financing condition in there because the bank has to approve you based on the house that you're buying.
Yeah.
So even if you have a
Okay.
pre-approval, you'll need that condition, and then the property inspection condition. So it's made to protect the buyer. So if there's something that comes up in the property inspection that you're not comfortable with, there are options. We can either try to negotiate some extra money off the agreed purchase price to kind of remedy whatever.
Say that again. Sorry, if something comes up
Yeah.
that.
So if something comes up in the inspection, like if some defects come up,
Okay,
that
like
you,
the furnace, whatever.
yes, yeah. So there's different ways we can go about it. We can either renegotiate the purchase price so that you have the ability to fix the item yourself,
Yeah.
or we can say that the seller is responsible for fixing the items, and then we ensure that that gets done with what we call holdbacks. So we say like, hey, seller has to fix the furnace if not completed before the completion date, then this amount of
Deals
money.
off.
Yeah, well, yeah, or like this amount of money goes back to the buyer, or if you find like too many things and you just get totally spooked out by the house, then you have the ability to call the deal off and to back out of the purchase contract.
Okay, and what I've seen, Priscilla, in a lot of the, like, there's houses I've made offers on and stuff in the past, nothing's been accepted, but people, especially in today's market, are just making conditional offers. Like they'll see, so if you see a house, you like the house, make a conditional offer, get that accepted, and then, like it still is 100% within the, like the power of the buyer to proceed or not. So it seems
Yeah.
almost silly. Like I guess is kind
Yeah.
of the overall comment I had is like,
Yeah.
even if we don't like it, let's just make a conditional offer just in case, and then we can always back out.
Yeah, you are right. The conditions are very much in favor of the buyer. You can always say, "Hey, my financing didn't get approved," and
Yeah, right. And then you don't need to prove anything.
Yeah, exactly, and you get your deposit back. So yeah, they are like it's yeah, this you don't need to provide any proof to the sellers, and the way that the condition is worded, you'll see in the contract is property inspection satisfactory to the buyer, financing on terms satisfactory to the buyer. So it's very open. It's very open ended. So yeah. Aw.
You can't see us, can you?
Yeah, I can.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
I'm looking at the road buyer's home map.
That's okay. Okay, so then, so if you do like the house and you decide to remove your conditions, then we move on to the firm sale. So that's just a period of time. So there's gonna be a period of time from the removal of conditions to the possession day. It's going to be at least it needs to be at least 2 weeks between those two dates. And then
Sorry, between which two dates?
The firm sale date and the possession date.
Okay.
But it could be longer. So, if you're looking at end of December, then we can put offers in, I would say, starting in September, because before that it's too long. So when people put their homes on the market, they typically don't want a closing more than 3 months.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, and 3 months is even kind of pushing it. So that's more so in the case if there's tenants in the property, then they're okay to wait. Then the seller's okay to wait 3 months for closing. But yeah, typically when a home's on the market, the sellers usually want between like a 30 and 60-day closing. 90 is a little harder to get, but still possible.
Got it.
Except, of course, if we're dealing with a pre-sale like we spoke about earlier, then the
Right.
possession can be farther out. So.
And I don't know if I lost maybe the information, but well, we give the first payment when we make when we make the offer. But
Yes.
when do we have to give the down payment? In
Yeah, so
which
that's gonna
part?
be after you waive conditions and like about a
Okay.
week before closing. That's you're gonna meet
Mm,
with your lawyer, and then your lawyer is gonna tell you the exact amount of money that you need to bring to them, and yeah, it's gonna be about a week before closing. So
Okay.
yeah, so that's when you would need to bring the rest of the down payment. And then in between that time as well, between the firm sale and the closing, your lawyer and mortgage broker will work together to kind of arrange the mortgage. And then the lawyer also handles all of the transfer of the funds from your account and from the mortgage to the seller's lawyer. So that all kind of gets handled behind the scenes. So you do have to just hire a real estate lawyer for your purchase. And the fees for that, you can account for about 1,500 to $2,000 for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we would find that individual on our own?
I can send you some recommendations, or you can, yeah, find one that you like yourself. But yeah, I'll send you some recommendations when the time comes for lawyers and for property inspectors as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll make sure that
And the cost for the property inspection is on us or on the seller?
it's on you, and that's about $500.
Okay.
Yeah.
And okay.
And I also just have one last question. Like, as the market is now, like the offers have to be over the price that is listed to.
Yeah, so that's my next topic. So we're going to talk about the market.
Okay.
So I'll send you this little document as well in the email. So every month we just kind of like summarize what's going on in the market, so that you can kind of see what's going on. In your price range, it's not there is competition in your price range, but it's case by case, I would say. So where we're seeing like the most fierce competition is for sure properties priced under 600,000 and apartment condos are really competitive. But in your price range, it may happen that there's multiple offers. In that case, yes, you usually have to offer over the list price, and it's really depends on a lot of factors, mostly on how many offers there are. But yeah, as soon as there's one other offer, you can expect to pay at least asking price, if not a little more, so that yours is the winning one. But it's very case by case, and yeah, in your price range, don't stress about it too much. I don't. It's lower the probability, but if it does happen, I will. I'll let you know what strategies I think would be best. It's kind of a fine art competing offers. It really depends on the listing agent. It depends on what's important to the seller. It depends how many offers there are. So
And
it's
does the listing realtor share those details with you?
yeah. So they share how many offers there are. They can share what the details are of the offers are. It's up to the seller to decide.
Okay.
They usually don't because they prefer kind of not showing their cards, so to speak.
Yeah.
So because
Yeah. Yeah.
if they say like, oh, we have an offer at this amount, then we know like all we got to do is beat it by like $1,000 or something, right? So
Yeah, right. But
yeah,
then there's other factors like the possession date or
yes,
the down payment or
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So that's down the road.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm very experienced with competing offers, so if you really like the house and if it's within budget, it's pretty attainable. There's many ways to go around it. And
Okay.
but if
Great.
we need to deal with that, I will let you know what I think should happen for that to be a success.
Yeah, no doubt.
But yeah, so
Sure.
that's kind of that's the general environment. And as far as like the forecast of the market this year,
Yeah.
it's basically a repeat of last year where we are seeing price growth. We're expecting most of it to occur same as last year, where it was from January to June. And then after July, it's going to stabilize. It's not going to go down, but it's going to kind of stabilize. That's what we're expecting.
But they're thinking like the bank rates will decrease.
Yeah, they've been saying that
They were
for
saying that it was supposed to happen, but it didn't happen.
yeah, it's so hopefully they do.
Yeah.
But with the rate of the increase in house prices, it's not gonna really offset it, like even if it does, right? So hopefully they come down. But we'll see. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Fair enough.
yeah. And I think
And
if they
what are your thoughts, personal or professional, on buying a home in this market? Because it seems a little bit of a, like, yes, I mean, I've spoken with other realtors in the past who have told me that just year after year growth and so many people are moving to Calgary and
yeah.
blah, blah, blah. But does it seem like an inflated market to you at this point? Of course, it's less than like Toronto, it's less than Vancouver, but do you
Yeah.
think prices are inflated, that they'll decrease in like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we're for sure not gonna see. I don't think we're gonna see a huge dip. Like we're for sure not gonna have like pre-pandemic pricing again. It's not that's a goner. And yeah, like the other agents you mentioned said, there's just a huge influx of people moving here. And because it's people from Toronto and Vancouver, they are used to a very bullish market. So they're the ones that are driving the prices up, and they're the ones that are not afraid to go high above list prices, because to them they're still getting a deal.
Right.
And what, like, if you go a little deeper with the people moving here, so what happens is some of them move here and they buy right away, but then there's other people, they move here and they rent for a while, right? 6 months, a year, 2 years, right? To kind of just get their bearings. But then they're eventually going to buy as well, right? So then there's kind of like that future demand that's probably still going to be there.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, and right now, like our inventory levels are historically low.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the things are just going so quick.
yeah,
Like things are listed for a day, and
yeah.
if it's like a nice product, it's gone by the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah, and it's
That's just so crazy.
yeah, and it is really costing people to wait to buy. Like 6 months
Yeah.
ago, the prices were much lower than they are now. So the people who've been waiting are really like someone who was ready to buy last year.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
that's me. I feel like I've been
yeah,
ready to buy for probably 2 years now, but there's been other uncertainties, so stayed
yeah.
away. But I remember 2 years ago, the house that I'm looking at now, that's 850, was maybe like 600 back then.
Yeah, and if it's what really matters is entering the market, because then you have something to trade with, right?
Fair.
So, and then you're building equity, right? So if, like, let's say if you would have bought 2 years ago, you would have had a house to trade with, and then
But then it was would have had a mortgage and a down, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And the other thing too is the rent prices go up as well too, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
For sure.
yeah. So it's yeah, it's costing people to wait, and we are seeing a lot of people kind of having remorse over having waited. And
I'm not too sad. It's
yeah,
okay.
that's good. At least you're still doing it, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then something else to keep in mind. Oh, hello?
You there?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get the video back.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
Meeting timers,
We're good.
You're good?
We're good. This doesn't matter.
Do you still see my screen?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so yeah, do you have any other further questions about the market?
No.
So it's I know it sounds bleak from what you've been
No,
hearing,
it's
but
okay. Like,
yeah.
it's okay. We've been, it's not our first. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. At least you're not buying like apartment condos or something much more competitive. Like your price range is it's not too it's not where there's the highest demand, so we'll be okay.
Yeah, good.
So, okay, so this is the kind of back end. This is our Realtor Access of our
Yeah.
MLS system. So I've gone ahead and kind of started inputting some of the things that you mentioned.
Mhm.
You'll see here I put 865 for price. I know your ceiling is 850.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can negotiate money off the price if it's
Yeah,
if it's not
yeah, for
competing, or if there's like situations where you have a tenanted property that's trying to be sold. Those tend to you tend to be able to negotiate some money off the price. So
Okay, no problem.
yeah, so I
That's
put it
great.
to 865, but I know that your ceiling is 850.
Yeah.
And we have the 3+ total bedrooms.
Yeah.
Do you want like 3 bedrooms on your upper level, or are you okay if there's 2 bedrooms up and one in the basement? Because I have seen
Yeah, we're flexible. Like it's something, it's not like we're not going to look at it because it has 2 and 2.
okay, perfect. Okay, awesome. And then,
Ideally, it'd be like 3 and 1, but yeah. As
yeah,
far as like at this stage, we're open to viewing all options, and
Yeah.
I think it's just a good exercise.
it is, yeah. And I was in a pretty cool house that I think you might enjoy it. It had like a double master plan on the upper level, so
Yeah.
so I don't know, like you might want to see those come up. So we'll leave it like that for now.
Sure.
And then we have the 3+ bathrooms.
Yep.
All right, so are you okay if it's 2 full bathrooms and a powder room? So meaning like 2 of the bathrooms.
Yeah. Again, like I think from like a search parameters perspective, it's fine.
Okay, perfect. Okay. And then the year built, you wanted something within 10 years. So we have 2013 or later for your
Yeah.
build.
Yeah, that's good.
And then I'm gonna add, you wanted a double garage. So I'm just gonna add that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, whether it's attached or detached is irrelevant.
Okay, perfect. And then, so you'll see here, I only have active selected. So whatever you get from me it means that it's still available. So
Yeah.
sometimes you look on realtor.ca and there are pending listings on there, and the public doesn't see the difference. So that's whatever you would get, whatever you're going to see in your portal. So once you start to see the emails come through, that means that the status is still active. So it
Okay.
means that no offer has been accepted on it.
Perfect.
But
Now on the subtype, what is a full duplex?
oh, so that means that the whole kind of block is being sold together. So it means like you're buying 2 sides, so 2 units.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
So semi-detached means you're just buying like the one residence.
Right.
One half.
So like the one I sent you the image of, that would have been a
Yeah,
semi-detached.
that would be called a semi-detached or a half duplex. Yeah.
Okay.
So we have detached, and then I do have townhouse selected, but I put
Fine.
not a condo. So, because you said you don't want to pay condo fees, right?
No, I mean it's not about the condo fees. It's more about just like I've lived in a condo for the past I just don't want to be in like a condo setup
Like an
as far as
apartment.
like yeah, or even like some townhomes are like they're townhouses, but it's like a complex.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I'm just not interested in something like that.
Okay, but you would be open to a fourplex, right? I think you mentioned.
Yeah,
four?
yeah,
Okay.
that's fine. We saw a nice one in Tuxedo Park, I think I
Okay.
told you about.
Yeah, okay. So those would have condo fees, so those you would be
That's
okay
fine.
with?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
It
So I'm just gonna take that out then. Yeah, because
limits.
it does, yeah. And we'll have to like I can't really set up a filter for fourplexes only and not
Yeah, no
four
worries, no
complexes.
worries.
So you might see, I don't think we will much because of the areas we're looking in. They don't really have big complexes usually, but you might see some come through.
Yeah,
So just disregard those. If like I want to keep it as narrow as possible, but also I don't want you to like miss out on certain
of
things. So
course.
there's some filters that I don't want to, that some are just not available, but also some are I don't want to narrow down too
Yep.
much.
Yeah, yeah.
So okay, and then oh, are you open to? Do you only want 2 stories, or are you open to bungalows?
Yeah, we're not too like again, I think it's kind of like keeping it broad enough to get a lot of things come in.
Okay,
Yeah, from a search perspective, something we'd have to see.
okay, perfect. Okay, so I played around and I just kind of started entering some areas, but I think
Yeah, they all look good. I saw. I took a read over there. I think it's kind of like I don't want to go further north than I don't even know what the neighborhood would be, but it's kind of like on 16th Avenue where you have the um, co-op just off Deerfoot. Yeah. Okay. So here, this is great.
so. I think what we're gonna do is we have this cool little tool called the polygon. So we
Okay.
can
You can
actually
just
like
draw a circle.
yeah, like a odd shape too. So we're gonna do that, I think. So
Okay. Yeah. So include like you can't see my finger, but
yeah, so let's so you're
like Tuxedo Park. Oh,
okay.
oh, yeah. So Tuxedo Park, I think, would be in our scope.
Okay.
Mount Pleasant.
So
Yeah.
like what would be kind of like your northern limit?
Uh, like 30th Avenue.
30th. Okay.
Yeah.
And then so this is 30th here. This would be like kind of Renfrew over here.
Yeah.
Are you open to that area all the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All the way like
Okay.
east to west.
Okay. So we're gonna go like 30th like this. We'll get this little cluster here. Is that fine?
Yeah.
Go like that. Okay. So we'll take kind of this area here. So then here we're kind of, so yeah, we're gonna include Renfrew and then
Yeah.
Bridgeland is fine.
For sure.
Okay. And then what about Inglewood?
Yeah. Included in the search.
Okay.
It's fine.
So now we're
The
gonna
thing about Inglewood is I find it's like a lot of older homes.
yeah, yeah. Sometimes you can get, I just saw one that sold recently for about 750. It was like an older home, but it was really nicely kind of updated.
Okay.
So
Yeah. It's central. It's got a vibe.
yeah. And then Ogden, probably too south.
No.
Too south. Okay.
Yeah. Stay out of Ogden.
Okay. And then so what would be kind of like, so now here we're heading just so here's downtown over here.
Yeah. So I probably don't want to go further south than. Keeping it like super wide open, like as far down as like just for a looking perspective, as far down as Anderson. I certainly don't want to live all the way down there, but
Okay.
from like a map, like sending me listings of options, I think it's like I said, I think it's a good exercise.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'd rather have more things coming in than less things coming in.
Okay. Anderson.
Yeah, so and like Woodbine and Woodlands are south of Anderson, so we could include that.
Okay. Here's Anderson. No, that's Southland.
Yeah, even further.
Further than that? Okay. Oh yeah, here's Anderson. Okay. Okay, let me just zoom back out.
But then, like, you know, I lived in my parents live in Woodbine,
Yeah.
and I grew up in that house, and then I've lived downtown. So I've never ever lived in like Mahogany or, some of these newer deep south neighborhoods, and I really don't think I would love them, but and I don't even see a huge delta between this house in Inglewood that you were talking about and the homes in Mahogany that are like the same size, same square footage, and they're newer. But I hate so much those just like cookie cutter neighborhoods that are just house on house on house,
Yeah.
and everything looks the same.
Yeah. So you want like that inner city kind of
Like a community.
diversified- Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah, community for sure. Like I love Ridgeland for that reason.
Okay.
I love I was really a big fan of that house we saw in Spruce Cliff there just because it was so close to, we had Edworthy Park on one side, the golf course on the other side, downtown a little bit away.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So,
okay.
yeah, and I would never want to live in like Braeside or Cedar Brae or any of that stuff, but, like even include, well,
So do you want to go? So you probably don't want Southwood, right? And do you want Haysboro? That's like near Chinook Mall.
yeah, I know Haysboro. I think just for the map,
Yeah.
just for this little tool,
Yeah.
if we scroll even further south,
Yeah.
so we include things like Lake Bonavista, we
Okay.
include like take it all the way to include Fish Creek Park on both sides. So even include like Evergreen,
D-
Shawnee.
Douglasdale as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know that, like again, I don't know. I just know it's off Deerfoot.
Yeah.
And they have a golf
Douglasdale,
course.
yeah, it's still kind of it's not very cookie cutter, I would say. Here we're getting into like Mackenzie though. Do you want to leave out Mackenzie? Mackenzie starts to get like the newer kind of cookie cutter homes, I would say.
But then again, like on the lake there's incredible homes.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, honestly, it's too far. Like I think I would just go crazy living that far away.
Okay, so do you want to cut it off at like Douglasdale for sale?
Well, I feel like no, I don't. I want to include these in the include Mackenzie.
Okay.
So basically, take it to the new hospital.
Okay.
And then go from the new hospital, go west.
Okay. So you want Mackenzie? Do you want Copper? Because the
Yeah.
hospital's over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's like so all the way so include Copperfield,
Okay.
Mackenzie Town, Mahogany,
Okay.
Auburn Bay, and even Seaton.
Okay.
And then include Walden,
Um,
and then Silverado, and do a bit of a U shape around what was it, Bridlewood I saw there.
Okay. Okay. So there's Walden. Do you want
And this is way bigger than I'm actually interested in,
Yeah,
but
you just
just
wanna
for
see-
getting specs and ideas and stuff.
Yeah, no worries. Okay. You said yes to Silverado?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay.
Even though I'm never gonna live out there, but yes, for the filter purpose, yes.
Okay. And then you said no to Cedar Brae?
I said no to Cedar Brae, but I don't know how, because that's just like a little chunk in there.
Okay, I could go. Yeah, I can exclude like just Cedar Brae from the.
Yeah,
I can go.
we're not gonna live in Cedar Brae.
Okay. And then as far as like the west side, are you open to these areas that are?
Yes, I am, and I actually like those areas just because of the Stony Trail.
Okay.
So there's,
Yeah.
it's really so central now.
Yeah. Okay, and then
And then even as high as like Pascapoo to, Valley Ridge is far. We were driving out to Banff the other day, and it was like shit. We're only at Valley Ridge.
Yeah.
It's quite far west.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, keep it. And I think it's older. I'd really like to live. So yes, let's do this, and then I'll share with you where I'd actually really like to live.
Okay. So do you want to cut, what's your northern cutoff? Like, would it be south of Crowchild? So that would include, like, you got Boness over here, Silver
Yeah.
Springs, like an older area.
Yeah, I am really so unfamiliar with these
Are
areas,
you?
but
So
probably
Boness and Montgomery, I would suggest keeping those because they have the inner city feel. You have chances of getting newer homes in Boness, especially.
I think we'd want to go like as far as, so we just kind of keep that circle from Stony on the west side, maybe like excluding Valley Ridge, but like
Okay.
whatever's on the east side, and then we want to go all the way up to like Confederation Park, like by the university.
Okay. Okay. So we're gonna include Cougar Ridge and Pascapoo.
Please, yeah.
And
I actually like those west areas,
Okay.
especially the ones when they have that elevation.
Okay. And then Boness is a yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Do you want Silver Springs or do you want to keep it south of the river, kind of?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, you can include Silver Springs. You can include like even Scenic Acres is probably as far. Yeah, because right beside that is Lynx Ridge.
Okay. It's a nifty little tool, hey?
Yeah.
So then we're gonna go south of Crowchild, so I can put a line kind of across like this.
Yes.
Okay.
And maybe include Edgemont in there.
Okay. Okay, I'll go like this.
And then takes a minute to draw these things.
Yeah. I could also select just communities, but I think like we're dealing with a broader area, so it's like
Yeah.
best to, yeah.
No, this is good.
Yeah.
And then yes, I guess maybe even just cut right through Nose Hill there, and then I don't want any of those areas.
Okay.
Island Park, Thorncliffe.
Okay. So kind of could go
Yeah.
like
Cut down and then over to the line by Tuxedo Park.
okay. So like 30th Ave, right? You kind of wanted to
Yeah.
say? Okay.
Yeah.
So okay, so I'll go like this. Kind of join it here. And then we're gonna close it off. Close it off.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah, that looks like a overly expansive area.
That's okay. That's how you start. And then I just have to fix a couple things here. I have to take these out. And then I'm
Okay.
gonna exclude, we're excluding Woodbine?
No, Cedar Brae.
Cedar Brae, okay.
Or Cedar Brae or Braeside.
Braeside.
Now, yeah, I don't want to be too exclusive. So if it's in there and I see it's, you can just leave them. Like I don't think we need to add the exclusions. Yeah, it's all good.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're getting, do you see this here? 64 matches?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a pretty good number of matches. If you want, we could potentially play with the square footage. Let me just.
I don't think we want to get like that specific.
Okay.
It's more, with these details,
Yeah.
we'll be able to narrow it down a lot based on, because that is quite a good range.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and I
some of
was
these
gonna
homes are,
say, like narrowing it down by square footage is tricky if you're open to bungalows because,
right.
like the above grade square footage for a bungalow, if it's like 1,200 square feet, it can feel really
But then it has the
spacious.
basement.
Yeah, exactly. It could feel really spacious. So yeah, we could for now leave it on there.
Yeah, I think just leave it and we can start sort of in the broader, like end of the funnel, and then as we communicate and get to know each other and progress a little more,
Yeah.
we can look through this, and I'm gonna get Deanna to look through a lot of these. It'll be good exercise for her.
Yeah, it's a pretty good list. So So you'll see
Yeah.
things like this come up. So see here it says this is something that could potentially work for selecting finishings, but I just don't know if these townhomes would have a yard, and it's kind of more of a larger complex that you mentioned you might not like.
Yeah, which I want more of like my own, at this point in
Yeah.
my life, I want more of my like own house, my own space. I don't want to be waking
Yeah.
up next to,
Yeah.
you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But we'll take a look. Like that one looks a lot like, yeah. Anyways, we'll take a look and, you know, I can't see myself living like probably what I could say. So on the east side, I think the absolute like Deerfoot would be the cutoff. On the west side, say Crowchild Trail. On the north side, it would probably be 30th Avenue, and on the south side, maybe Glenmore.
Okay.
That's like actually where I see. But again, I think this is just a good exercise because we have so much more than just that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be good because you're gonna see like what you can get down south, and if that's interesting to you. Like for example, you can get like this big bungalow here for 850
Yeah.
in Legacy. It's 1367 square feet, and those are just interesting to see because it's kind of just like a different caliber of property.
Yeah.
And then oops. Yeah, and then you can see if I go like
And then you have all kinds of other features. Like I know in these areas they have like man-made beaches and all
Yeah.
kinds.
yeah. Yeah, and then you can see like Boness, for example. So these are going to be Boness. This is where you get into more of like your infills.
Yeah, like the fourplex kind of deal.
Yeah, this is a duplex.
Okay. Which is better than a fourplex.
Yeah, because you'll have a more yard with a duplex. With a fourplex, yeah, fourplexes usually don't have much yard space.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, so like Boness, this is where you get like the house prices are pretty good in Boness, and you're still pretty close to everything. And then what else do we have? So we have these are all like super new communities here: Wolf Willow, Yorkville. So you'll be able to kind of see like what's going on there. Range views.
I find also it's like you don't really fully appreciate it in all of its components until you actually go see it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's only when we start to go view homes that, you know, it's actually becomes really clear in your mind, and you can see the area, get a feel for it,
Yeah.
and see if you can even picture yourself living there.
Exactly. But at this point, I think starting with this and kind of like allowing the listings to come in as they will
Yeah.
is great. And then you have both my email and Deanna's email.
I don't have Deanna's.
Okay. I'll text it to you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't have Deanna's, so I'll set that up.
Okay.
Yeah, so once I'll set this up, so we have all our parameters set up. So what I'll just do is kind of save it as an auto email. You guys will get these 64 results come in, and then as things get listed, you'll get notified. If you find it's too many emails, I can limit it to max once a day or a few times a week. When you start to get into that like we're ready stage, we need to leave it like ASAP so that you don't miss any opportunities. And then and once you get closer to that stage as well, I'll also get notified so that if I see something come up and I think you'll like it, I'll see it come up in your auto email. I'll get the alert as well, and if I think it's something you'll really like, I'll contact you and I'll say, hey, like this came up and I think we should go view it because I think you might like it. So
Yeah, hell yeah. And as we get to go see houses together, you really get a sense as to what we like, what we don't like, because there's a lot more than, you know, just what we covered on the phone call, but
yeah, for sure.
we'll do time.
Yeah. Yeah, and as we view homes, I'll be able to kind of like read you really well, and I'll be able to see like what you like and don't like, and even if you don't tell me, I'll you'll make some faces, and I'll just so yeah,
All right.
it's gonna be it's gonna be pretty smooth that way. So
Great.
and then lastly, the other things I'm gonna send you as well for your perusal is just so the agency documents. So basically what these are is eventually, you know, you will choose which realtor you want to work with. And these would be documents you would have to sign eventually. And what these are is that they explain what the fiduciary duties are that a realtor has towards clients like yourselves. So basically how we have to act in your best interest, we have to obey all your lawful instructions, things like that. So I'll just send you these for your reading, and you can let me know if you have any questions. It's basically the agreement that we would agree to work together towards finding your home, and that you're selecting me as your realtor if that's the case in the future, and then I will also.
So do you need us to sign these documents, or you're just sending them for interest?
Eventually, I will need you to sign them as we start to view homes. But for now, I'll just send them to you so you can read it over and let me know if you have any questions.
Okay.
And then you'll see in here as well, as I mentioned before, the purchase contract that I'm going to send you, just for you to read over, and just let me know if you have any questions about that as well, so that when the time comes, it's not the first time that you're seeing the document and you're like,
Yeah.
what am I
I
signing?
appreciate it.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
so I'll send you that. So you'll get, so just text me Deanna's email.
I will do.
And once I have that, I'll send you guys this email with all the documents that you can look over. And then I'll set you up on the alert, and you'll be able to see those homes that we have now. And yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So
Beautiful.
so look through the listings.
Yeah.
Let me know like if you want to eliminate some areas and things like that, and we can start to tweak the filters. And then I'm gonna call, like I said, I'm gonna call some agents just to see if builders have things off market that could work for you for pre-sales.
Yeah.
And see
Perfect.
if there's anything off market there. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, really appreciate the time.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
hitting my Zoom fatigue levels.
Yeah, I know. That's usually the cutoff, 1 hour.
Yeah.
Okay, nice meeting you
well,
guys.
really appreciate the time. Nice meeting you, and we'll be in touch in the near future.
Yes. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.